We're 2 days away from the start of Big Tens in Bloomington, and just obviously really excited to compete. It's swimming is a sport, swimming and diving is a sport in which you train so much, and you train some more, and then train some more. And so when those opportunities to compete come along, you really want to take advantage of them. We're taking 28 women to the meet, and we're really excited about our squad. And the message for them has been kind of similar to what it's been all year long when we've gone and competed. It's just to try and be better than where we've been prior to that. And it's a cliche in so many ways, but it's one that applies to our program right now, especially in this first season with the staff. And again, I think we're just excited to see what they can do. We had a pretty successful fall with some wins over Green Bay and Minnesota. I thought we swam very well in our midseason competition at Texas. Obviously highlighted there when Beta broke the American record in the 100 backstroke. We had a very productive training trip over the holidays. We came back. The women had 2 nice wins over Iowa and Northwestern, and they're really rounding into form. And I think in me, for being my first season and the first time kind of leading a program like this, I'm just excited to see what we can do. And I think going into Big Tens, there's 2 really big goals for the program. The first one is to try and score as many points and maximize our position in the conference. The women were 5th last year. We're going to try and do a little bit better than that, and if not place higher, then at least score more points than we did the prior year. And the second goal is to qualify as many individuals and or relays for the NCAA championships, which are the 3rd week of March in Austin. So between trying to maximize our points at the conference level and put ourselves in positions to score at the NCAA level, those will be the 2 big goals next week going into Bloomington.
Hi, Yuri.
Hi.
What's your first season been like here in Madison?
Oh, it's been great. I have my coffee intake has gone up drastically. It's been, I think it's been a challenge as you might think, with 64 athletes and a staff that is trying to figure things out through their first season. But it's been incredibly rewarding, and it's been one in which I think that every step along the way we've tried to take some things and say, okay, how did that work? Was that a good way to travel? Did we like the training progression that week? Did we like where we scheduled that dual meet? And so I think I've found myself just about after every experience taking a look back and saying, okay, did that work? And is that something that we want to do in the future? And so, to be able to kind of move through that and do it with the support of administration, which has been great, and do it here in Madison, it's been rewarding, it's been challenging, and it's been everything I thought it was going to be. But it's also been a lot of fun.
What's Beta's preparation been like? I mean, that you talk about you prepare all over and over again for the one occasional race you're going to have. How does she manage those times to be as good as she has been in the competition times?
Yeah. Well, I think like most great athletes at Beta's level, the thing about Beta is that she's incredibly consistent. Regardless of what's going on in her day, she comes to the pool or she's in the weight room or doing dry land, and she does it at a really high level. So kind of that performance, whether it's a practice in September or an inter squad meet in February or the Texas Invitational or Big Tens or NCAAs, I think Beta is someone who just is incredibly consistent in her ability to perform no matter what's going on. And one thing as a staff that we talk a lot about is just, there's no bad days, no off days. Everything that we do is important so that when we do get to a big competition, it's not like it has to be a big competition. It's just kind of, hey, do what you've been doing, and let's just try and do it a little bit better. And that's been a little bit of the message to the team this year, and it's really, I think Beta has really kind of taken off on that, and we're not trying to make it bigger than it needs to be. And I think it's one of those things where if you rehearse great habits every day, if you come to the pool and you work hard every day and you train at a high level, then when you go to a competition, it doesn't have to be any different. So yeah, it's Beta's consistency, I think, is one of the biggest things that allows her to do what she does.
Kind of a 2-part question then. Do the rest of her teammates kind of see what she's doing and trying to emulate her? And secondly, what's it like coaching an athlete like her?
Yeah. I think we all kind of sometimes get a little bit, whenever you're in an instance like that, you might get a little bit numb or just kind of take for granted what she does. And so it's not that they do that, but when you see it every day, I think it's something that it's like, okay, there's, Beta just kind of pushing 24.5, 50 backstrokes, or there's Beta winning 4 events of dual meet. And I think the team relies on her, but they also support her. And I do think it helps in everybody. Beta is someone, like I said, between her work ethic, her commitment. She's a great example for the program and someone that we really rely on and build upon. And then I think that, working with Beta in a lot of ways as a coach, I kind of feel like it's to get out of her way, and not muck anything up that's already working. And I think that Beta is someone just like other, athletes that I've had the ability to work with at that level. You want to provide them with guidance. You want to provide them, you want to outline your plan, but you also want to give them the opportunity to provide some feedback. I think at this level, coaching it's a partnership with your athletes. And I think it's always been my job to provide the environment and then let them work within that. And I think that's been the way I've approached it with some of the athletes I've worked with in the past, be it, Ryan Murphy or Katie Ledecky, and Beta is the exact same way there. You provide an environment. You let her do her thing. You guide when you need to guide, but by and large, I think as a coach, it's you want to let them. You want to get out of their way when it's time to perform. I think when you get close to the end of the season at a big meet like Big Ten championships or the NCAA meet, I think if you're having to coach a lot at that time, then I always feel like I didn't do a very good job during the regular season. If I get to a meet and I'm having to coach up Beta, then that means I didn't do a very good job, on the regular day-to-day back in September or in January or in February.
How often do you drive by the building over here?
That's actually just about every other day on my way home. Brian was asking me about that earlier, and we can't wait to get in that facility. The Natatorium it's been great. I've hesitated to ever speak negative about it because, there's been a variety of programs that have swum fast over the years in a lot of different situations. There's kind of a joke in saying that as long as, the water's wet, you'll be fine to go. But when you have a big program and you've got the men and women in at the same time, and you've got various groups, a sprint group, an IM group, a backstroke group, a distance group, and you only have 8 lanes, then it's required us to kind of get creative at times. And that's not always a bad thing, but we're looking forward to more space. We're looking forward to kind of some of the amenities there, an endless pool. I know our diving program is really looking forward to having access to a 10-meter tower because right now, once a week, they're going to Milwaukee. So that's about a 2.5-hour, 3-hour round trip that they're not going to have to do in the middle of the week. And I think at that level, it's a world-class facility, and there's something to be said about when the athletes walk onto the pool deck and they feel that every single day. So we've embraced the Natatorium. It's our home right now, but I'm getting ready to maybe grab a shovel and a hose and I'll start working in there if I need to get that thing open on time.